Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday. And happening today, it's a first for Carnival Cruise Lines taking off for Cuba from Tampa Bay. Carnival has 12 scheduled cruises from the port of Tampa. They're planned between now and next May, but it's not going to be a free-for-all once that ship is in port, though. There are still strict rules in place, and as of now, those rules are still being written. Bay News 9's Fallon Silcox on scene in Tampa. She spoke with the family, now setting sail this afternoon.
They're so excited for this trip today, and they say they didn't want to miss out on this opportunity to go to Cuba because they're afraid they may not have that opportunity for much longer.
Make sure I have everything.
Jerry Ann is making sure she's all packed and ready to set sail later today, heading to Cuba for the very first time.
We're both history buffs, so just seeing the old buildings and the old way of life, it just seems like time has stood still there just from the things that I've seen on TV. So it's just interesting to see what's going on there at this point.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty amazing.
She and her fiance Sherman say they booked this cruise months ago when Carnival first announced the dates for this ship, the Carnival Paradise, maiden voyage to Cuba. But a couple of weeks ago, Sherman and Jerry say they did get a little nervous when the president unveiled new restrictions on travel to Cuba. Luckily, the new ban doesn't apply to cruise ship passengers, so the planning continued without a hitch.
My dad's always wanted a Cuban cigar, so I'm going to definitely get him a Cuban cigar. And a buddy of mine, Bill, told me to bring one of the cars back. So I'm definitely going to go check out the cars.
And now the two say they're looking forward to 4 days full of fun, experiencing everything Cuba has to offer.
Yeah, so when these doors opened up, it's like a chance of a lifetime to go ahead and jump on it. And
everybody keeps telling us what a good idea it was to go ahead and jump on that, because you never know, like you said, if the borders close back up, you know, I can say I've been there. I know what it looks like.
And the new restrictions proposed by President Trump would limit solo travel to Cuba. So that means you would have to book your trip through a group tour company or go on a cruise. On scene in Tampa, I'm Fallon Silcox, Bay News 9.
All right, Fallon, thank you. The new restrictions are not in place yet, though, and it's expected to take several months before they're approved and implemented. Officials say commercial flights and cruises will still be allowed to stop in Cuba, so those are expected to continue at least for now. New today for you, an Army specialist is facing child pornography charges. Nathan Gray was arrested in North Carolina yesterday on an outstanding warrant from Polk County. Deputies say while Gray was visiting family in Lakeland in February, he downloaded several pictures of child porn. We've learned Gray is stationed at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. He's expected to be extradited back to the Polk County Jail at a later date. Now we want to take you to a live picture of Sky 9. What you're looking on the ground there is in Brooker Creek, and that's one of the forestry vehicles right now trying to cut what they call a line in the sand and in the dirt, a break line so the fire doesn't spread. We know that this fire has been burning for a while in that Brooker Creek Preserve area, not uncommon. About 15 acres, they say, were involved. They believe that it's about 90% contained. Now, earlier today, it was interesting because we thought there was a second fire. We sent Sky 9 up, didn't really see anything, but of course, officials there are keeping their eyes on that area, on that burn, as we will too. Well, storms last night produced a lot of lightning, and Pasco Fire Rescue thinks that a lightning strike may have started this fire in Hudson. Man, that house went up quickly. Flames were shooting from the roof of that home. That was located on Fred Street. The family was able to escape. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but still, their house took a big hit. President Donald Trump's modified travel ban takes effect tonight officially. And in preparation, U.S. embassies and consulates in 6 predominantly Muslim countries received new guidelines for visa applications. The move comes after the Supreme Court restored parts of President Trump's executive order. Bay News 9's Katie Jones is on scene at Tampa International Airport with a closer look at those new guidelines.
The new guidelines state that applicants from those 6 countries must prove a relationship with either a parent, child, spouse, or sibling in the United States. This also includes adult children, sons, and daughters-in-law. What is not considered to be close relationships are grandparents, grandchildren, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, or other extended family members. The 6 Muslim-majority countries in the president's original travel ban are Syria, Iran, Somalia, Yemen, Sudan, and Libya. The ban has caused outrage and protests from many across the country, but it has been a top priority for the Trump administration.
We're going to have a very, very strict ban, and we're going to have extreme vetting, which we should have had in this country for many years.
A Department of Homeland Security spokesman says they'll continue to work with the Departments of State and Justice on the way forward for implementation of the executive order based on the Supreme Court's ruling. And those who have either accepted a job or will be attending a university in the United States will be allowed, and the Supreme Court has announced that it will hear arguments on the travel ban in its October term. On scene at Tampa International Airport, Katie Jones, Bay News 9.
Katie, thank you. Now, the Senate's health care bill failed to win enough support for a vote, forcing Republican lawmakers to delay a vote, at least for now. But according to polls, that bill even less popular with the public. Only 12% of respondents in a Suffolk University USA Today poll said they approve of the bill. Fox News reported the highest numbers in its own poll, but even that had overall support at just 27%. When it comes down to just Republicans, polls from Quinnipiac University and Marist showed fewer than 40% support that bill. According to the Congressional Budget Office, about 22 million Americans would lose coverage under that plan over a 10-year period. Well, the grades are in Pinellas County, and parents there and administrators are celebrating. 7 of the county schools have improved to A schools. 11 are now up to B schools, and 5 improved to C schools. Now, as for those schools that were dubbed failure factories, 1 is still an F school, but 2 are now D schools, and 2 others are now C schools. School Superintendent Mike Grego says he's proud of the district, and so are the parents.
A lot of parents have been stepping up this year. They've been getting involved, and they've been trying to, let me sign that planner. They've been really wanting to see what's going on with their child's progress. So, I mean, everybody, it's a collective effort.
These principals in the schools are learning from one another, and it's only a matter of time till each and every one of those schools are out of that D and F status.
Now, there are 2 other schools the district considers in their transformation zone. 1 improved to a D status, and the other improved all the way up to a B school. Here's a look at the other school districts in our area. Every other county received a B grade except for Polk County, which received a C. If you'd like to see how specific schools fared or how your school did in the previous years, we've got a link on our website at baynews9.com. Just click on the Scene on 9 tab. Well, one of Florida's licensed medical cannabis providers, called Trulieve, is now selling a new product, Rescue Nasal Spray. Here's what it looks like. It was specifically designed for patients who experience seizures. Now, it's hard to predict when seizures will occur, but Rescue Nasal Spray is meant to be inhaled at the onset of a seizure, working quickly to stop it. As a reminder, Trulieve has locations in both Clearwater and in Tampa. Well, new this afternoon, thanks to the rain, 2 boat ramps have reopened on the Withlacoochee River in Hernando County. This is what it looked like at the beginning of the month. The Lake Townsend and Nobleton Park boat ramps were closed to motorized boats because of low water levels. But since then, the county says the water's gone up at least a foot. The Mountain Lake boat ramp in Brooksville and the Hunters Lake boat ramp in Spring Hill, though, are still closed. We'll keep our eyes on that, so as we get more rain, maybe that'll change. Meantime, a big boost for the Bolts. Tampa Bay Lightning owner Jeff Vinik is investing $6 million to upgrade the team's practice facility. Here's a look at the renderings we got from the team's website. This will be the new 18,000 square foot addition at the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon. It will include a new locker room and training facilities. That new facility expected to open in the spring of 2018.
3, 2, 1, liftoff. We have a liftoff.
In Destination Space News, while most of us were sleeping, NASA launched a rocket from the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
After several delays due to the weather, the rocket finally lifted off just before 4:30 this morning. The total flight time for the mission was about 8 minutes. That rocket will help NASA test a new system that supports science studies of the ionosphere in Aurora. NASA says the payload will land in the Atlantic Ocean about 90 miles from Wallops Island and will not be recovered.